Okay, great. So I think we're live now. I think we are. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna bet that we are. Yeah. Okay. So first office hours of the week, at least for me, it's European hours, 11 a.m. and in Spain. And here, what we do is that you can bring your Bubble questions, feature requests, topics, anything Bubble is welcome here. You can post your questions in the Facebook group of CoCreative NoCode, or you can also come to CoCreativeNoCode.com requests and add a question. You can also create an account, and we have a lot of good things for you, such as a complimentary session for you to come and ask your questions. So today it's just Ben, Kim, and I, and we're going to be looking at a few different things. We're going to start with repeating groups and how to hide the scrolling bars, but we're going to actually dive deep into this topic and see a few different ways, because the other day we just scratched the surface, and then we're going to solve a few questions. So yeah, let's get started. Ben, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So you can see my screen, right? Well, I'm gonna recreate here what I did the other day, and I explained it in a Twitter thread. So I'm gonna be following these instructions. Okay. I don't know if you're on Twitter. Are you on Twitter?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay.
Should be, so but I'm not.
This is going to be relevant then, okay? Because I didn't know if you had seen this. Probably not, because I don't have like a huge audience. But anyway, I wanted to ask. And the first step, this is what we did the other day. So we create an HTML element on the page, and then we paste the code that it's in that image and that I have here in a repository. So once we do that, what we saw is that we remove all the scroll bars in the page, right? So if I have a repeating group over here, and I paste an HTML element, and then I copy here the code, which I hope it loads. Oh, come on. I was telling Ben that my router is not great. Let's see if it works. What we're gonna do is we're gonna copy all this code. If it doesn't work, we'll just skip this part. But once we copy this code and we hit preview, what's going to happen is that there's not going to be a scroll bar in the repeating group, but there's also not going to be a scroll bar in the page. And we saw that the other day. In order to just attack one repeating group, or make sure that you just remove the scroll bar from one repeating group, you need to first expose the option to add an ID attribute to HTML elements. And you can find this over here in settings. In general, this option, expose the option to add an ID attribute to HTML elements. And then every element in your page is going to have over here the ID attribute field. And we also saw this the other day. So you give this element an ID attribute, and it cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought it could be something that started with numbers, but actually in another office hours session, we saw that it needs to start with text. So you can write something like test, but not 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's better to make it descriptive, right? So maybe you explain what repeating group you're referring to, or something like this. Actually, it's not here. It's not in the HTML element. It's in the repeating group. Yeah. So you can give an idea, for example, of no scroll.
It also has to have no spaces, doesn't it?
It has to have no spaces. That's true. Yeah. So if you want to separate something, you do it with this or this or whatever else you want. Maybe you can do it also camel case, such as this is a very typical convention when coding. So yeah, whatever works for you, but make sure you don't start it with numbers. And for example, here I chose repeating group, so RG no scroll 1. And this is what we saw the other day. You can then change your code and add that ID and a hashtag before that for every the reason why we have a lot of code here is because we're making sure that we cover all browsers, and that we do we hide the scrollbar when we're hovering, we hide the scrollbar when we're not hovering, all these things. So we have to make sure that this happens for this element in every use case, right? So that's why we add the ID. And then actually, Ben, you asked a very good question that made me investigate a little bit more, which is, what if we want to remove the scrollbar for 2 or more repeating groups? Do we need to create 2 or more HTML elements? Because that could be a possibility, right? Take this code and then create another HTML element, change the 1 to a 2, for example, and then you're covering 2 repeating groups. But if you have like 5 repeating groups, that's going to be a mess very soon, because you're going to have a bunch of HTML elements, a bunch of like code that is repeating. So a possibility is just to write it like this, to have the first one, then the second one, and then the code that is in between brackets. Okay, that's a possibility, but it's still not very clean. Like if you have 5 repeating groups, it's going to be a little bit of a mess. And I saw that this is why I thought, okay, I don't know a lot about HTML and CSS, so I'm also learning here, but there must be a way to make this easier. So I saw that is why in HTML we use classes, right? And instead of having one ID for each repeating group, we have a class with which we refer to all the repeating groups that share an attribute. And in this case, the attribute is that we don't want them to have the same. We don't want them to have a scroll bar. So I chose to have a class NoScroll, and then instead of adding the ID to the repeating group, I added the class NoScroll to all repeating groups. And with the IDs, the problem is that you cannot add one ID to more than one repeating group. It breaks the page. So you need, every element in the page has its own ID. But with the class, if you use this plugin called Classify, you can use this way of adding a class to an element, and you can add as many as you want. And you can have 5 repeating groups that have the same class, which is what I showed here. You can have repeating group A, repeating group B, and repeating group C, and they all 3 share the same class, which is class NoScroll. So they all 3 are going to be without a scroll bar, with just one piece of code. And the only thing that you need to do is, instead of using a hashtag, you're going to be using a dot, so a point here. And this refers to all the repeating groups that have that class. So I thought this was pretty interesting, a new addition to what we saw the other day.
Awesome. Is that a free plugin?
Yeah, it is. It is free. So let's see if this is working now. Hopefully it is. Yeah. So my computer is happier now. And as it says here, like about 75 of what CSS can do isn't accessible by default in Babel, but with Classify it is, and it is free. And there's a very good explanation in the forum of how to use it. And it's actually very nice because it also tells you how to add a normal ID to the element. So it's not that you add the class and then you cannot refer to just that repeating group. You can do both. So you can have, like, for example, one piece of code in your app that removes scroll bars, and then another one that just changes a few things for some repeating groups, styles them differently, and then just also like one that refers to the ID. And for that, you can combine classes. It tells you, for example, here how to add 2 classes at the same time. It tells you how to set an ID over here, my element ID, and at the same time remove a class or remove 3 classes. There's a lot of nice explanations in this thread, and it's completely free. Yeah. I'm going to show you the repository because I thought it was useful when I was trying to save the code. You might use it in the future. Did you understand what I explained? Do you have questions, Ben?
No, that's fine. That's great.
Yeah.
I had set it up just to get rid of all of them because I wasn't too worried about the main slider on a browser. But this would be way better.
Yeah, this is nice. I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing screen because you said you might have some questions today, right? Before we go to the requests page.
Yeah. Did you have a look at or figure out that state issue that I was having on the side?
Oh no, I couldn't have time to look into that, into responsiveness. Hopefully I will this week, but the weekend was like very relaxed. I needed to rest a little bit. Yeah,
that's always good. Cool. Should I share my screen for a sec?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So I created this order form for when people want, they want stock or they want, think of it as if you're doing, like you're on a clothes website and you want to buy a bunch of stuff and you need to fill out these things and then it adds it to an order. But what I'm trying to do is basically fill this out, hit add product and then list it down here and then submit order.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get this data to come into the repeating group down here?
Yeah, good question. So I think you need to create like some either in a state or it's probably good to do it in a custom state because if they don't submit, you want to get rid of that cart, right? Or that that those products. So you can have a custom state on the page of type product or the same. What's the type of that element that you're creating when you hit add product?
It is stock order details.
Okay, nice. And when you hit add product, what's happening right now?
It is nothing.
Nothing yet, right? And so what you have in that repeating group down there, that's cancer. Yeah, so that doesn't have a data source yet, right? Okay. So
no, it doesn't have a data source yet.
Okay, so what I would do is in the page, I always have my custom states on the page because it's just easier to find them. So I would create a custom state on the page and of type product, the stock product. And then every time I hit add product, I would add a new product to that custom state. And in this repeating group, you can use that custom state of a list of products as the data source.
Okay.
Okay, but we can try to do it if you want.
So around this group?
Yeah, but we can do it in the page, in the normal page, not in the pop-up.
Okay.
If you want, if you give me permission to control your screen, which I think you can do in the share screen options. Oh no, wait, I think you need to be sharing your screen in order to do that.
What was that, sorry?
I think you need to be sharing the screen, to share the screen, and then you have the option to allow me to control it.
Okay.
I think app, there should be an options menu.
Settings, no. I can't. Whereabouts would this be?
I know. I'm trying to send you like the part of the manual where it says. Give me a sec. It's like
you have access to the app if that's easier.
Yeah, that's maybe true. Okay, I'm gonna try. Let's see if it loads correctly.
Okay. What are you working on at the moment, Pablo?
So right now, I just finished an app two-sided marketplace. So I'm happy, but I need to. I'm in the review phase. So the client's gonna review it this next month, and I'm gonna be solving a few bugs. I also have to do some support for an app which has like a complicated Salesforce connection to Bubble. So I'm gonna be working on that for the next few days. And then, yeah, what else do I have? Yeah, some content creation, the office hours, a little bit of everything. Yeah, but all Bubble related, so that's nice.
How is the office hours rebrand going?
Yeah, it's going well, slowly but surely. It takes a while to get things going. Yeah, because we want to make sure that we're doing the correct offering, that we have the correct messaging, all these things. Plus, since it's going to be like we all have different nationalities, we need to figure out a lot of legal stuff. So yeah, it's also tricky. I think it's the first time for most of us, at least, or for maybe all of us, doing something like this. Okay, I think the app is open.
Do you have a date for the relaunch?
Not yet, but hopefully beginning of next month. Yeah.
Hopefully just in time for Flexbox, eh?
Yeah. I don't know about Flexbox. I mean, they keep like postponing it. Hopefully it will be like very soon. We'll see with the next like monthly community update. I love those things. The community, have you seen them? The community updates that they make in the forum?
No.
Oh, that's really nice. I'm gonna show it to you now.
Okay.
Because I love them. They're really honest. They're really like transparent, and yeah, they give a lot of information as well. Okay, so I think your app is finally loading, which is going to allow me to share screen. Yeah, so it is. But while it finishes loading, I'm going to show you the monthly community update. Okay, so they make an announcement, and it's usually one of the first days of the month. So the first, the second, the third. And then they just talk about the changes that they've made this month. So they talk about everything, like if they have a new bootcamp cohort, or if they're doing like a new program, something like this, but also if they've added new videos, documentation, interviews, articles, etc. And then they also give some metrics regarding like bug requests, average response time, these type of things. And my favorite part is this one where they just talk about a lot of stuff, you know, things on their minds. And here they just go on and on and on explaining like why they're making the decisions that they're making. So that's really cool. And then they talk about what they are working on and what they are not working on. So for example, here, since a lot of people are asking about this plugin, Select PDF, they just say like, you know, it's still on ice, and they actually have explanations in other monthly community updates as to why this is. But yeah, highly recommend you check this out because they're really informative. So they're really nice.
And it's just on the forum, is it?
Yeah, it's in the announcements part. And you can also set the bell here. And if you set it, you'll get email notifications whenever there is an important post. Yeah, so that's good. That's probably one of the few email notifications I have set up and that I actually like to receive. Yeah. And also, like, for example, there was a change that a lot of people were confused about a few days ago, which is that they changed the current user is logged in condition to current user is signed up. And I knew about it because I got the email and I was like, okay, so this is going to happen. But I know some people had like mini heart attacks when they were like programming or doing their coaching sessions and things like this. And then the wording was different and they were like, well, what am I doing wrong? You know? So yeah, it's good because the important notifications will always be posted here. Okay, let's have a look here. So what I'm gonna do, you're seeing my screen, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna add here, let me know if you've already tried this, because maybe you've already tried this. I'm gonna add here a custom state, stock products. Yeah, it was stock order products, right? I'm going to call it the same way. And yeah, it's going to be over there. It's here. Perfect. And now in the pop-up stock order, everything has names. Yeah, that's great. Once you click the button, I'm just going to set a state. And the element is going to be page. Just going to be the list. Actually, let's do something else. Let's, yeah, because that's interesting, because I know what the problem might be here, right? Which is that the custom states only have one value, so not like a product value. So you would need to create the element before assigning it here, and that might not make a lot of sense, you know, because you might end up with a lot of like order products that you don't really need to, and it would be great to actually just have them in the page temporarily until you hit submit, and then you finally create them, right? I'm not sure if that is very straightforward. We're gonna look for a post that I think is really good. I'm not sure if I'm gonna find it, but let's try to do it. Let's try to find a card. A card post. Oh, I know that this advice was given by Kit Crosley. Maybe if I try to look for him or his posts, we might find it. Okay, this guy is a really nice babbler. He has a lot of good posts in the forum, and I know that he gave some advice as to how to create a card, you know, in Babel correctly. And this is pretty similar because you need to store a temporary list and then hit submit. So let's try to find it. It's not gonna be here. Any other replies? Okay, we might have some information over here. Let's try to do it again. No. Interesting, because I know he has like a whole topic in the forum, like a whole post where he explains this type of things. It's really here. No, it's not this one. Maybe it is.
What was his username so I can find it to follow it?
If, just key. And he created a very useful plugin called List Shifter, which I use a lot. And yeah, but this video is quite long, so I'm not sure if we should watch it now. I'm gonna show you like the other way, which I'm sure it's not the best one, okay? And then I'll also post this. I'll send this to Kim so that we can post it in the video. And because it's a useful link, and I'm pretty sure people will like it. And then I'll just do what we did today with the repeating groups. I'll have a look myself, and we can cover it on Friday in detail. But the easy way to do this would be just to create a new thing. I mean, but yeah, this is not the best way because, of course, it's like very unnecessary to keep creating things, you know, and then create them again. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But this would work at least, which is like create a thing, and the product name, the code, the link, the color, the size, and the quantity. So let's do that. RC named there was link, color, quantity was definitely there. RSC, and we were missing now the size. There is no field for size.
Oh, sorry.
No, I mean, it was just a question.
No, I've kind of rushed that and come into the question pretty early, I think.
Okay. That's the thing with Bubble as well. Like, there's a lot of ways of doing things, you know, and the good thing is that they all work if you do them correctly. The bad thing is that they can be more or less effective, right? So we're gonna need to, the state is going to be application stock order products, right? So the products that we already have in that state, and then we're gonna add the item. Plus item, result of step one. So that way every time we hit add product, we're creating a new stock order products, and then we're adding it to state. Okay. Yeah, this should work well. And then we needed another button right here that said submit. I think we already had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have it. Or like, yeah, or like save or submit, doesn't really matter. Now here, what do we have in the database? Let's see, we have the order products, and we're linking them with a project, right? Are we doing something else like with that list of products, or it's just like yeah, so it's child to parent, the relationship, right? So in that, yeah.
Well, what it should do is create an order, a stock order from the list of
Okay.
products.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that was my question. Perfect. And is there a type order? Or not yet?
Order details. Yeah.
Okay, so stock order details. Perfect. By the way, I don't know if you knew about this, but I discovered this a few months ago, and it's so nice to just be able to add all fields at once.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
So you
That's a
didn't
time
know.
saver.
Yeah, that's the same for me. And for some projects, I spent like, I don't know, a month adding them by hand, and there were like 15 fields for some of them, for some of my data types. And it was just like, when I discovered this, I was a bit angry, that I hadn't seen it before, but also like so happy that I could finally do it. So here what we are going to do is set the list of stock order products to our custom state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna check if this works, okay, and then we can add. You can add some more fields if you need to. But over here, the data source is going to be the same. The application, stock order products. Yeah. So this should work. Let's check if it does. Oh my God. Maybe I should stop sharing and then share again. See if this speeds things up. Yeah, it does. But still. So where was it? Where did I need to?
I just made a button on the menu on the left-hand side that just says orders to make that pop up.
Oh yeah, perfect. That's nice. So let's do this. Well, let's add name. Link. Yeah. So why some of those are not appearing? Oh yeah, it's only because there are just a few, right? So yeah, just the stock, the products, and the name. That's good. And you could just, we would need to reset this, but actually for the sake of the test, it's going to be easier not to reset it. But yeah, you have them over here, and you can also just add the functionality over here referring to the current cell. So you can edit the current cells element, and it's going to edit the product that is in the custom state. Okay, and then once you hit submit, let's check because we don't have an alert or anything. So let's see if it created the order. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna stop sharing. Yeah, okay. It's like instantaneous once I don't share the screen. Yeah, over here. So we have this one stock order without details because the only thing that we're doing is setting up the stock order products, but they are over here, the two products that we have created.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any more questions related to this?
Is there a way to on submit create a field or fill out a field in that stock order that is order number and create an order number?
Yeah, so you want that to be unique for every order?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a few ways of doing this. And like the first one that might come to mind is to do a search here for all the stock order numbers, and get the one with the highest order number. And that's a way, so do a search for order details, sort by order number, sending yes. And then you get the first element. And then you get the stock order number. That would be a way, So actually a stock order number plus 1, because you're gonna want to. Uh-oh. What's going on? Is this a text? It's probably a text, right? Yeah. So you would need to. Yeah. That's interesting. Do you want them to be like numerated, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or do you want them to be like random?
Well, I was gonna have the first 3 letters of the brand name and then numbers after that.
Okay, but can the numbers be random?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So this would be one way, okay, but I don't particularly like it because you keep doing searches whenever you're creating a new stock order, and it's not like my preferred way. If you were going to do it numerated, what I like to do is to have a field in the app setting data type, which I don't know if you have, but you might have seen it in Canvas, in the template or in one office hours session. I usually have here a data type that is called like app settings. And then we have like a bunch of stuff over there. So if you have like a limit of users that can use your application and you want to change that from an admin panel, because maybe you want to only allow the first 100 users to use it. Or if you have like something like this, where you need to keep a counter, like a global counter in the page, you can have a new app type called app settings. And then inside those app settings, have the data fields that are necessary. So here, for example, you could have like the counter, right? And you would relate to it. I mean, you would know that it's this counter because you would add like order details counter, for example. And then this would be a number, and you could keep increasing it by 1, whenever an order is created, and then just search for the current app settings counter. This could be another way of doing it, which I think is cleaner. I don't really know about performance. It might be faster to do the normal search, but I would like to do this if I was doing that approach. If you're doing it randomly, probably the best way to do it is just to get the brand. How can we get the brand? Are we referring to the brand from the data type?
We would have to. Otherwise, it would just be a random. Yeah, no, I haven't set that up yet, that it's a brand.
Okay. So if we had here like the brand, okay. Let's just, do you have the data type brand? Yeah, you do. What? I mean, you can change these afterwards, of course, just for me to show it. You can have the parent group stock order details, brand,
brand name.
Yeah, brand name. And you want to use the first 3 letters, right?
Yeah, capitalized if we can. I don't know if that's
possible. So we can capitalize. Oh, but this is going to capitalize the words. So we're going to use the uppercase because we want everything to be capitalized, or just the start.
I know, all of them.
Yeah. All of them. Yeah. Then uppercase. And I think it's this one, but let's check the reference. Otherwise, we can use truncated too. There are a few different ways of doing this. But I think it's a number of characters. I don't know. Normally, Bubble is really good at doing this, like sending me to the particular piece. Yeah. Oh no. So number of characters gives us the length. So the number of characters of the text. Truncated too is nice. So truncated 2, 3. Yeah. And then you can add here append, just gonna concatenate this with something else. And here, if you want it to be like completely random, you can use calculate formula. And with oh no, it's not calculate formula. It's similar, but it's not calculate formula. What is it? Where is it? I know there's like an option to do this, but I don't remember. Huh. Let me check again, the calculate formula. Oh yeah, generate random string. It was here in front of my eyes. And now you can choose the length of characters. If you want it to be like completely random, you need to choose something big, like 6 or 7 or 8. But yeah, with that, you can be pretty sure that it's going to be always random because you're also adding the brand name at the start, right? You can choose to use, letters, non-capitalized letters, numbers, special characters, whatever you want. So you were using numbers, right?
Yeah.
So you could just use numbers and that would be it. So let's, but we need to have the brand in the stock order details and we're creating it. So that doesn't make sense. So we would need to have it. Oh yeah, because you're going to be sending an stock order to the pop-up.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you can refer to the parent group and the brand name and do it this way. Yeah. That's nice. Cool. And what order are you going to be sending to a pop-up? Like, what is the use case in which you're going to be like clicking the order button?
I'm going to make it so a way that a project might need, some stock, some clothes or something. So the brand can send that to the person doing the project and they can fill out the order form for them.
Okay, yeah. So it's gonna be easy to add the brand. That's good. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So I think you can test this a little bit, see if it works. And then next Friday, what I'll do is I will show you the other way, the way that Keith proposed in a post, because I will find the post. It's my homework now for today, and I will make sure that we cover it. Okay, because it's good to see like this more easy or intuitive way, and then the good one. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Okay, I still have like 10 more minutes. Do you have a particular question? Do you want us to look at something from the requests page?
Has anyone on Facebook Live or anything got any?
I don't know. I think I don't think so. I think it's just you and I here today.
Here's one that'll probably be easy for you. In a repeating group, is there a way to combine data types?
Is there a way to combine data types? That's a really good question. There's no like easy way of combining data types. You're gonna have to create a new data type to combine them. And I'm gonna refer you to a video, and that way I'll also get to give a shout out to a really good YouTube channel. Because that video is gonna explain it way better than I can on the spot. Let me open it and I'll show it to you. But it's a really good question. I spent a bit of time trying to find that out, because normally you need to combine that, right? And it's true that you can use conditionals to kind of like change how one data type is shown, but you cannot use conditionals to change the data type of the repeating group. Okay. Yeah, great. So I have it here. So yeah, today is a recommendations day. I like it. So the channel is Bubble Tip Lister.
Yep.
Highly recommend you check it out. And the video is called Bubble Tutorial, displaying and searching more than one different data type. Okay.
Right.
And he gives an example as to like how to display comments, friend requests, and posts in a newsfeed and search for them, with just like one repeating group. And this like 40 minutes, really good video.
But essentially you have to create a new data type, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was like that. Yeah, you needed to create like a new data type, and then based on the data type, you could like change the repeating group that you were showing. Yeah, so there's no easy way to do it. Like there's no conditional that you can just check and change the data type.
Yeah, that's a shame. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
Cool.
I saw here that you were asking, yeah, how to reverse engineer a data source.
Yeah.
Did you figure this out? Do you want us to cover it?
Yeah, if we can have a quick look at that one, that probably won't take very long.
Awesome. Where is do you want to share a screen?
I'm actually just trying to find it.
Okay. I tried to open the image.
Yeah, yeah, no, and I can't. You can't figure it out.
Yeah. I think it's a bubble issue.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which section. Oh, it's on this section. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's this one. Okay, so yeah, do a search for brands where current user is what I need here, but I don't know if there's a way to do that.
So you want to search for brands and where current user something
follows the brand.
Follows the brand. Okay. And do you have a type in the database which is follow or something to like what happens when a user follows the brand when he or she
Then the
clicks
brand,
the button
yeah,
to follow?
there's a data type on the user that is followed brands.
Followed brands. Okay. Interesting. So what you want to have here is like current user followed brands contains this brand, right?
Yeah,
Something like
exactly.
this. So if you click over there and then go down, there is the option to add an advanced filter. There needs to be no, yeah. So it's not here. So interesting. Okay, where is it? Let me search for it. Yeah. Yeah, so it's here. That's really weird that it doesn't appear for you, because it does appear for me.
Oh, does it?
The option, yeah, but I'm trying to figure out why it doesn't for you. Can you remove that filter and then try to add a constraint again? Oh yeah, I think I know why it is. But this is pretty interesting. Can you try to remove the type? There is no option for you to remove the type, right? Okay, can you go to the data source and just type it again, like search for brands from the beginning in the data source, like in the or so you have brand selected, that's okay. Or yeah, do it again. And then clear the data source. if you right click in the data source, you can clear the expression. Yeah. Do a search for and do it again, like brands filtered.
Maybe it's because I was doing filters and I don't need to.
No. You were okay. You were okay. What you were doing was the right way to do this advanced filter that we're gonna use. So filter. And now here, add a new constraint. And now click. Yeah, so now it's gonna work. If you go down, you see there an option that it's advanced.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
And now you can choose to do current users. You can choose to do anything. And you gotta be a little bit careful when using the advanced filters, because since you can like do whatever condition you want, it can slow your app quite a bit. So it's normally good to try to think of a good database structure that allows you not to do advanced filters, but sometimes you don't have a choice, and you can use advanced filters. And as long as you are not using a lot of them, your app should run okay.
So what would you have here?
In this case, can user followed brands contains, and then you do this brand. Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So what was the reason that it wasn't coming up for me? Do you know? Was it just
I don't know. I think it's because you had like the already data type selected, the brands data type in the filtered section. So it was like removing the option for you to like look at the advanced filters. I think that might be the reason. But yeah, but it wasn't giving you the option to like deselect the data type. So the way was to clear the expression and just do it again. But yeah, it's really useful to be able to like directly clear an expression or copy and paste it. That's nice.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, great. So I need to run now. My morning goes on, and you probably want to go and get some rest now, right?
Yep. That's the time.
Awesome. But that was a
Thanks so much.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Thank you for attending, and yeah, have a good start of the week.